What's the exact step-by-step framework that you can start using to start messaging potential clients and turn them into paying clients for your high ticket business, and so that you can start scaling to your first 50, 100K plus month? What I wanted to do is just share this into just a couple steps for you so you can start implementing this today, and things that I've seen from frameworks inside of these businesses that has scaled from 0 to 100, 100 to 500, and even 500 to $1 million a month. All right, so again, just gonna break this down a couple of steps so you guys can start implementing. And the first thing that you wanna start making sure is that you have a framework of success. And all that means is that, before you actually start thinking of booking calls or messaging your followers to turn into potential clients as well, you wanna make sure you have a couple steps in place first so that you have a healthy foundation that you can actually start using. The first thing that you want out of this checklist is gonna be making sure that you are consistently posting using content pillars. And so basically that means you're using a strategical way to actually nurture your audience through your social media organic posts. If you don't know what content pillars are, or if you want to see a sneak peek on the inside of the ones I've seen on these large social media followings, and I mean at least over 100K followers or even up to 400 to 500K followers plus, I have a video that goes really deep inside of what this looks like, right? The next thing you want out of this checklist for the framework of success is that you want to make sure that you're consistently posting CTAs, or call to actions as they like to call it. And this is important because it's not just going to be direct call to actions, it's also going to be indirect call to actions. All that means is that you're simply just doing things where you're posting on your feed and you're telling them to book a call, and or your stories, but also with the indirect call to actions, you're making sure that you want to start generating conversations, right? And basically what that means is you're getting a call to action for them to comment on your posts, and or having things like poll votes or asking questions. And those call to actions are going to be indirect, but it's going to strike conversations that you can start using, so then you can actually start messaging these people and then eventually booking calls and then scaling from there. Again, with this process, you can also give away resources to also generate these conversations. I can go a little bit deeper into that in another video if that's what you want to see as well. But again, the biggest thing is you want to be consistent with this every single day. If you have the right structure with the call to actions, the content pillars, and stuff like that, then you're going to be able to have this machine ready, so then you can start implementing a script and then booking calls as well. The last thing that you want out of this framework of success is you want to make sure that you have your bio primed. And all that simply means is that you have a word that people can go to and they can actually message you this word or this keyword so that you can actually strike up these conversations as well. And if you don't know what that looks like as well, I have that in a video that goes over how to actually scale to your first 100K plus month using Instagram shoutouts as well. That's going to be the framework of success checklist that you'll need. The next step that you want is, now that you have this consistent client generating machine where you're nurturing people, right, with your organic following and your posts, now you obviously want to have a script. Now, every script can be a little bit different based on your avatar and your offer, your program, and all that stuff as well. But the main things that you need to understand are the 3 to 4 frameworks that you need with your script. The first one is going to be a goal-oriented question. So in the beginning, you always want to say thank you for, being interested in XYZ or the resource or doing the poll vote or whatever that looks like. This is going to be the open conversation. And the first thing that you want to do is, just so I can know a little bit more about you, what are your business goals, your fitness goals, your nutrition goals, whatever that looks like, depending again on your program and your offer. You can customize that, I'm assuming. The second thing that you want to do is you want to start going into the struggles. Got it, great goals. Love that those are your goals. Awesome goal. Now, just to understand you a little bit more deeper and understand where you're at with your goals, what are your current struggles that's holding you back from reaching insert goal? That's going to be a second part of the script or framework. The third part is going to be the solution. Now, this is going to be the transition that's going to start leading to booking a call. And again, for here, it's going to be 5 steps instead of 3 or 4, right? So the solution is where you're taking their goals and their struggles. And what you're essentially doing, you're saying, totally makes sense. Now, if there's a solution to learn more about how you can start reaching insert goals without the struggles or the insert struggles, is that something that you're open to learning more about? right? So now all we did is we've taken their goals, their struggles, and we created a solution for them. It's honestly kind of like a sales call, but just in the messages as well. Again, guys, these frameworks are gold. I've seen businesses scale past 100, past 500, even going to that $1 million a month using these type of frameworks. And then that transition is going to be for them to want to open to a chat or open to a call or not. All you're going to do from there is great. Well, if that's the case, are you open for a 10 to 15 minute call to make sure that we can talk about what that looks like? And if you're giving a free resource or you're talking about something else, you can also say, well, I'll discuss what that looks like on the call as well. And all you're doing at this point is just confirming that call. And then once you have that call, I mean, I can explain what a triage or a 15-minute call or discovery call actually looks like, but then you end up transitioning that to a 15-minute call where you're qualifying them to make sure that they can actually start being part of a sales call for that final call, and then eventually, paying for your program. All right, so that's the second step. The first one, remember, is you want to have the frameworks of success. The second is you want to have the script ready and have the frameworks for the script. The third is going to be making sure that we are consistently posting now, right? Because you have two things. You have the frameworks of success for nurturing your followers or potential clients. Now you have the script. Now we're going to start posting and implementing the first thing. The third thing is you want to make sure that you're always on the lookout. You always want to make sure that your focus now, and even if you're an owner, you're probably closing calls, you're doing lots of things with marketing, probably operations, fulfillment, right? You're going to be mainly focused on this and start saying, okay, like what are the things that are working right now? Is it the poll votes? Is it the stories? Is it, my direct call to actions? But you're going to be very aware to make sure that you have to be very quick to responding to these people, because again, the more time that goes by, the more they're probably going to be less nurtured or less hot, right? Or less warm when it comes to the lead as well. So now you're going to test this system out, right? You might move a couple things, but now you're going to be consistently booking these calls, which is the third step, and you're going to be very aware of what's happening. The next step after this is you want to make sure that you're also tracking these KPIs, right? So you want to have a tracking sheet for this and probably have the amount of conversations generated, probably have tracking of what it looks like when it comes to the type of posts that have worked, right? And then you're going to be getting very granular on that. And essentially with tracking with this process, you're just going to go in the direction of what's working and eliminate and reduce what's not working. This is where you're going to get very granular, very finite, and very specific on how to keep moving forward with the type of posts that you're having, the type of call to actions, whether it's direct or indirect. And then you're essentially just going to optimize on what's working. And so it's very simple. Remember, we have the frameworks of success, we have the script, we're implementing, and now we're tracking, right? We're being aware of not just doing the micro, we're stepping out and we're tracking. And then the last thing that's going to be super helpful for you is that, again, you're probably going to be in a position where you're overwhelmed or you're going to be focused on lots of other things. And you want to start thinking, well, what's going to be the highest revenue things that I'm doing right now that's going to make sure that I can pull the lever that's going to get me to that next goal? So this could probably take you to 50K, 100K. Now you're like, well, now I need to start building a team, right? So the next thing that you're going to be focused on is just remembering that you got to pull that next lever to scale to that, the next goal that you're having in regards to the cash collected per month or the revenue. And so you want to start looking for a DM setter. Now, where do you find these people? Again, I can go super deep into what a hiring process looks like as well. But now all you want to do is you want to make sure that you're going in places like Indeed, these Facebook groups where you can literally type in, closer or setter, and there's going to be lots of people there, where job postings, these communities, and even other people who actually promote their services of training setters, training DM setters, training closers. You can even reach out to them to see if they have some people that are willing to actually, work for you as well. And again, I can go super deep into that process. But again, let me recap this for you to make it super simple again, right? First one is you want to have the frameworks of success with everything with your organic posting. Again, I have some videos on what that looks like for the bio and also what that looks like for the content pillars. Second thing, you want to have the frameworks of your script, right? Third, simply implementing this and being aware. Fourth, tracking. And then finally, fifth, you want to make sure that now you're going to remove yourself out of this position, because you're not always just going to be there, or else that's what usually keeps businesses stuck in that plateau. But then you're going to pull yourself out and eventually hire your first DM setter and then overseeing that as well.